our playoffs look like. We are the #1 seed. Patriots #2. So realistically, it was the Colts that made it. The Steelers and the Broncos did not. But the Chiefs and Browns are facing off against each other, so I guess that was realistic. NFC side, it was the Buccaneers are nowhere to be found, unfortunately. The Saints are the #1 seed. We got the Cowboys and 49ers, who did not make it. The Rams and the Falcons, who did, actually no, the Rams made it, and the Seahawks made it, but the Rams won against the Seahawks, so not too realistic on the part of Madden, I guess, but we kind of ruined it. So we're going to upgrade some players before we jump in to that next week. Dominic Jones is up to a 97 overall, plus the 1 morale boost. We'll give Jordan a speed rusher. QB1, Mike Fonte is going to be a scrambler. Again, because we just want to upgrade the weakness, right? Through accuracy short. Give Warren Lewis back, because he kind of needs it. Slot corner Marcus Latham. We'll give him the slot. Ooh, good awareness boost. Ben Latham, give him power. Does he get power? Nope, it's just awareness. Okay, that's good. And Oliver Bum with his last upgrade. Unfortunately, it takes him out of scheme fit, which I'm very annoyed at. But all right, so before we see who we play, here are the stats. So we're gonna go. Actually, we're gonna go record first. So we were the #1 team in the NFL. Second place were the Saints at 14-2. So we had the 1 loss to the Bears. AFC North, Steelers went 10-6, Browns 10-6, Bengals 7-9. Okay. Yep, we were #1. Colts were the other team to make it. The other two teams. I can't believe the Texans went 8-8. That was just crazy. Here's the AFC East. AFC West, the Chiefs only went 9-7. So did the Broncos, with Colin Kaepernick, weirdly. The Packers only went 5-11, which is weird. So Saints, they should probably switch out the Buccaneers and the Falcons, honestly. Here's the NFC East, Cowboys #1. On paper, they should be the best team, and then the NFC West, which is actually kind of realistic, to be honest with you. This actually, you know what? This looks like next year. To be honest with you, those look like next year's things, but yeah. So we had the 1 loss to the Bears, which I'm actually kind of frustrated about. But here are the standings. So Mike Fonte, 47,000 yards, 78 complete percentage, unreal. 30 touchdowns, not very good, 16 interceptions. Almost 300 yards a game, a rating of 113. It's pretty good. Almost 10 yards, which is really good. Sacked 29 times. Those are for the passing. For the rushing, Warren. Oh, Warren, no. 46 yards away from 2,000. 5.2 yards a carry. He tied LaDainian Tomlinson for most rushing touchdowns in a season. 28. 122 a game. He had the 1 fumble, but it was recovered by us, thank goodness. 80. Freaking 80 broken tackles. A long of 69. Then we have, I was the backup, 74 carries, 3.3 in average, and 5 touchdowns. It's the play design. It's horrible. And then Simon had 6 carries for 37 yards and a touchdown. And then Dave had 1 carry for 2 yards. And that was it for rushing. Receiving, though, is a little more interesting because we got a bunch of new people. Dave was 10 catches away from 100, but he had 1,300 yards. But let's get this. We had not 1, not 2, but 3,000-yard receivers. insane. So Dave, 49 per catch, 10 touchdowns. He led us actually with touchdowns. 305. Oh, actually, Malachi had more run after catch. And then Dominic Jones was our second receiver, 77 catches, 1,100 yards, almost 200. Actually had the most average yards after reception, one less touchdown than Dave. And then our tight end, 90. Oh, actually led us in catches. I didn't even see that. 93 catches. He was really hot, actually. He was leading the NFL in receiving. Had the 6 touchdowns. And by the way, his touchdowns came in bunches, which was kind of funny. And I guess if you run an offense, you're either going to get your tight end or your slot receiver as productive, and it was our tight end. So our slot receiver, not too terribly productive. A little over 600 yards, 4 touchdowns. I had 38 catches apparently for 6 yards a catch, which wasn't much. Our backup tight end, 13 catches, 147 yards. Not bad. Our third tight end had the same amount of catches but a lot less yards, but he did have a touchdown. And then Warren had 13 carries as well, and then Simon had a catch. Okay. Blocking. All 5 starters stayed, and AJ Cann only allowed 1 sack. So he should probably get a dev. I should probably give him a dev trade up to that. And Jawan Taylor was our worst player. Boo. 7 sacks. You horrible, horrible person. But then we're going to go to the interesting stuff. So defense. Actually, no, wait. Let's just go back to tackles. Okay, so who led us solo tackles? So Isaac led us. So our backup middle linebacker, of course. And by the way, you notice, so even though they're twins, one, I realized this not until later, but one's Findlay and one's Finlay. So I was actually going to fix it, but then I realized, well, that's really the only way you can tell the difference if you're like watching it. So just look for that D if you want to know the difference. But anyway, so Isaac led us in solo tackles, starting safety. Yeah, so there are those numbers. Assists. Who led us in assist tackles? Marcus. So our slot corner led us in assisting tackles. So there's that. Isaac led us in tackles with 117. So we had 3 tacklers over 100. Nice, actually. I don't know why he had so many, but... and then Dom Mosby actually probably could have been top 5, but he missed half the season. He was really good in the 8 or 9 games he played. Joe Spindler had 16 tackles for loss. Jordan had 12. We actually had some higher numbers for tackles for loss. Sacks. Let's see those sacks. Yes, 2 people, 10 or more, but I mean, it wasn't very much over 10, but still. Taven Bryan was actually really good, and then he got replaced. Interceptions. Mark, our slot receiver. So it looks like our best defensive player might be Marcus. We had a lot of interceptions. Look at all those. Interception yards. Yep, Marcus. Deflections. 14 for Nick counts, so there you go. And then 11 for both of these guys. A lot of deflections. Ooh, catches allowed. I want to see this. Okay. Actual starting people, please. Actual coverage people, please. Who are starting, please. Wait, what? Apparently, no one allowed a catch all season. Okay. I don't want to say. And then we had the forced fumbles. Yeah, Oliver Bowman, 6 forced fumbles. And then we had 4 for him. 3, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. Yeah, we forced a bunch of fumbles. Fumble recoveries. Marcus Latham had 4. If you want to see more. Yeah. Yeah, it's really hard to sim blocked kicks. No, we didn't get any safeties. We did get touchdowns, though, I do know. Marcus, yeah, 2 defensive touchdowns and a bunch with 1. Who played the most downs? I'm wondering, actually. So, actually, a free safety, Tony Riddle played the most downs. And then, whoa, Archick and Jordan Metzner played a lot, too. Interesting. Alright, so then we get to kicking. Oh, we got all the way over here. And Ben Latham, 100%, 27 for 27, with a long of 49, 0 blocks, 73 of 73 extra points. Punting, Cadgett and Hughes, 44 punts, 35, and then net was 34. So that's not the best, I guess, but he had 9 inside the 20, which I don't think is very good either for punters. Kick return, yeah, it's really hard to sim punt returns. So wait, Malachi had a kick return. Oh, I didn't even know that. And then yeah, it's really hard to get it. So those are our individual stats. Let's see who led the league. Passing yards, Mike Fonte. He was the leader behind Philip Rivers by like 20 yards. Completions, he was second behind Philip Rivers. Attempts. He was 24th in attempts, which means his accuracy is through the roof, which we already know it is. Philip Rivers in the league with 39 touchdowns. Mike was tied for 15th. He actually had a lot of interceptions, though. Yeah, he was tied for 4th, and actually, yeah, tied for 3rd in interceptions. But I'm pretty sure he led all starting, led all starting QBs in that. Average yards per game, he led that. Passer rating, who was actually starting. Thank you very much. Yep, highest pass rating for starting QBs. Ooh, who got sacked the most? Tua Tagovailoa got sacked the most, and Colin Kaepernick just... So he's not... Yeah, he's actually kind of down there. He got protected okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. Rushing. Let us go. Warren led the league in carries and attempts by almost 100 more than Ezekiel Elliott, who actually had a dang good season as well. Yeah, he led. Actually, Alvin Kamara led the league for like starting running backs and yards per attempt. Let's see, touchdowns. Yeah, no one even comes close. Not even Latavius Murray. Sorry. Let's see, average yards a game. Yeah. Fumbles. Who had a lot of fumbles? Duke Johnson now led 3 fumbles. Okay. Broken tackles. Oh my gosh. 28 more than Chris Carson. Crazy. Yards after contact. Yep, 300 more than Alvin Kamara. Which is crazy. I want to see downs played. Oh, Jimmy Graham. Okay, I guess. Oh, I guess that doesn't count. Never mind. Dave Kuplek led the league in front of Michael Thomas behind yards. Who had the most catches? Malachi led the league in catches. Oh gosh, with Dave coming in 4th. Average for starting. So that's like Jalen Rager, I guess. I don't know. Average a game. Yep, Dave led the league slightly. Receiving touchdowns, Michael Thomas. Oh. So tied for 5th for touchdowns. Run after catch yards. Oh, whoa. Those are a little higher than Dave. Whoa. Yeah, it's a little higher. So, I mean, we don't really care about blocking. Solo tackles. Jayon Brown with 116 solo tackles. Assists. Marcus led the league in assisted tackles. Oh, we get the we get the top 4 for assisted tackles. What fun. Actual tackles though. Jayon Brown, 143. Isaac Finley, top 10 though. 9. Who led the league in tackles for loss? Aaron Donald with 21, and then Joe tied for 3rd. Actually, no. Tied for 2nd. Sacks, Aaron Donald had 15, Myles Garrett 14, and we're a little low on the list. They should be. Yeah, sometimes they miss them. League in interceptions, Marcus tied Shaq Thompson, I guess. So deflections, Marcus led the league in. Oh, we had Tony and Marcus. That's right. Tie for league in interceptions. Forced fumbles. Let's see it. Let's see it. Yep, Oliver Bum. And Isaac. Oh my gosh. Yep, we got the top 3. Yeah. Okay, so there were a few players with 2 defensive touchdowns. Kicking. Ben Latham. Let's go. #1 kicker. 100% accuracy for field goals. Right. No one even, I mean, really? He should be in the Colts, but whatever. Most field goal made and most field goal attempts. Let's see. Extra points. How about that? Yep, he led the league in that too. Extra point attempts. Yep, led the league in that too. So, Ben's the best kicker. Punts. Yeah, oh dear. Yeah, he's below in the list. He's low. Wow. 2nd lowest on available punters. And he had the lowest average of punter. Yeah, he's just... Okay, let's just say Kedge isn't the best at punting. Kick return yards. Let's go that. Oh, he led the league in kick return yards. He didn't have a very long one, though. And he also led the league in punt return. And... Oh, he did not lead the league in punt return yards. Oh, not by a long shot. Yeah, he's like in the middle. But that was your season stats. Actually, forgot one more thing. Haha. If you thought couldn't get any more boring. One last thing. Team stats. So, total. We were the #1 total team for offense. #1 offensive team, 6,700 yards. Oh, we were the 2nd passing team, actually. 300 yards behind the Colts. Weirdly. We were the 3rd rushing team. But we blew everyone away with exactly 38 points per game. Almost 5 more than the Saints. Passing touchdowns. I don't think this really matters. Rushing touchdowns. Yeah, oh well, we led the league in rushing touchdowns. Hooray. Tied for 6th in first downs. So, not too bad on that. Defense, though. Total. #1 total defense. 3rd pass defense. 1st rush defense by 300 yards. Least points allowed by almost 100. We're crazy on defense. Sacks. Actually tied for the league in sacks with 45 with the Rams. Fumbles. Oh, gosh. Almost doubled the football team for forced fumbles. And we also... Wow, we almost doubled for interceptions, too. We are a turnover team. Alright. 3rd down conversions. Broncos led the way. Oh, wow, we're kind of bad on conversions, actually. We only 25th in 3rd down conversions. Oh, but we had the least amount of 3rd down attempts, so I guess actually That means it's pretty good. Third down completion percentage. Tied for third, I guess. No, tied for fourth, whatever. Fourth down conversions, we had the least amount. Fourth down attempts, we had the least amount. Led the league in percentage, I guess. We were 2 for 2. So I guess 2-point doesn't really matter. We have a few 100% teams. Alright, red zone efficiency. Attempts in the red zone, we led the league. Offensive touchdowns in the red zone, we led the league, close to 5. Field goals, we also led the league. Led the league 90% in the red zone. That's pretty good. Least amount of defensive red zone. Least amount of touchdowns allowed. Oh, actually we didn't allow the least amount of field goals though. We were last in the league for allowing. We allowed the most field goals. We were 5th in whatever that was. So we simmed, and we ended up with about 50 less penalties than the next closest team. Well, I mean, we had the least amount of penalty yards. Yeah. So, and last one, turnovers. We led the league with plus 33 on turnovers. Giveaways. Oof, we were 29th. Or tied for 29th or whatever. Gee, tied for 4th in interceptions. Yeah, Mike kind of lost it. He had was really good for the first 5-6 games and then started slipping. I don't think we lost a single fumble. Oh, no, we did. We lost 1 fumble. Takeaways. Wow. We more than doubled. The next closest team. Defensive interceptions. Yep, more. Fumble recoveries. Yep, more. So, okay, those are the final season stats. So, now, let us find out who are we playing? And, oh boy. Oh boy. Let's first just upgrade Miles Jack before. Plus 2 power moves. Good for you, Miles Jack. Before we play the freaking Colts for the 3rd time after they beat the number 2 seeded Patriots in overtime. That's crazy. Oh, man. Malamack over 100 yards. Crazy. Oh my gosh. Dude. Wow, okay. So it looks like we're going to play the Colts for the 3rd time. The Broncos win against the Steelers 19-0. And the Browns beat the Chiefs. So that makes the AFC side of things interesting. NFC, okay. We had 2 upsets over here. So it looks like we're going to be playing the Colts for the 3rd time. We beat them the first game, 34-13. That was kind of a blowout. And then we played them last game. We played them, and that was kind of a blowout too. So, although our defense has been slipping, but exciting news is that, I don't know if you saw at the end of the last episode, but we get Dom Mosby back, who actually was, despite not being like a superstar or whatever, was actually a vital part of our defense, leading the league. Well, not leading the league, but one of the best tacklers